Missouri musicians, then and now.
So I know you from Go Fast Betty's.
Right.
Because I used to manage the Shell station down the road.
Uh-huh.
And,
so we sent you a lot of drunk people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got all these people coming in just drunk as hell going, yeah, I need some gas and a candy bar, some tater chips, and some dip.
I was the manager.
Some more whiskey.
So I didn't have to work that shift, so I missed all the fun.
Oh, you missed the crazies then.
Yeah.
Because the Go Fast Betty's people really weren't out in the morning. If you were the morning guy, you really didn't see any of us.
I'd come in the morning and the store is all destroyed. Like, what the hell happened last night?
Right. They're like, well, there's Betty's down the street again.
Well, also, when I was playing music, I would come in every now and then try and get a gig.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think I got one. I don't remember why. I was never any good at the getting the gigs part.
Right.
That was more Robert's thing, but
right. See, I don't remember you trying to come and get any, so I mean that's how bad you were at it.
Yeah.
You know, because I was pretty much the hiring guy. So.
Yeah, I didn't make an impression. So I just thought, well, this is right down the road from my work, and there's no excuses.
You're like, it'd be easy. I get done working in the morning, I'll just go over there and rock out.
Sometimes while I was working, I'm like, I got to go to the bank. And then I went to the bar instead. No.
Right. Well, I don't blame you.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's where I know you from. And of course, you're involved in a lot of stuff.
I do everything.
You do. You do. So let's talk about that. The most recent thing I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, is the eyeberries, right?
Eyeberries, yeah.
The eyeberries are huge in this area.
Right. Yeah, they've been around for a long time, pretty much. Voted best band at the lake for years and years, and we got some of the voted best musicians in the whole state of Missouri and Missouri Magazine quite a few times, and it's an honor and a privilege to play with those guys.
That's awesome.
I think they think I'm the craziest one in the band, though, is the thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sometimes they don't know what to think about me, kind of. They're like, I don't know about this guy. I'm kind of like a human cartoon character half the time.
You bring something different to the band, I would say.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
They need that, I guess. I've
Right.
never seen them before, though.
You've never seen the eyeberries?
No.
Man, you got to come to our big thing that we're doing St. Patrick's Day every year. Roger, the lead singer of the eyeberries, calls it our New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of Irish-based. It's a Celtic-based variety band, so we do a little bit of everything. But, yeah, our St. Patrick's Day every year is just crazy.
Green beer flowing everywhere.
Green beer everywhere, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been with them?
I started kind of subbing for them. This has probably been 4 or 5 years ago-ish. Their drummer that they had at the time, once in a while he would kind of get hurt or if he was sick or something. The first time I played with them, it's kind of a funny story. They called me on Tuesday and we're like, hey, our drummer can't do this show on Saturday at Backwater Jack's. Do you think you could make it? They're like, we were told you're kind of the only guy around here that could maybe pull off this show. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm off this Saturday. I'll try it. So I was like, just send me a set list and cool, I'll jump in with you guys, and let's see what happens. So, all right, cool. So he sent me a set list and I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, Garth Brooks, Whitney Houston, whatever, and kind of played most of that. And then I'm like, what is this Irish stuff on this list? I'm like, I started listening to it and it's got all these crazy syncopated rhythms and off timing and breaks and stops and tempos. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is not Rock Band 101, you guys. Like, this is not start on Tuesday and learn 12 traditional Irish songs by Saturday, because I'm not traditional Irish drummer. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a rock and blues and country guy, but I've done a lot of different stuff. So I was like, all right. So I called Roger. I was like, is there maybe a chance of maybe some kind of rehearsal between now and Saturday? I was like, most bands and most shows I could jump in and be fine, But yeah, this one I was like, I might want to sit down with you guys and see what the hell you're doing on some of this stuff, because it's not normal-ish. So we ended up doing one rehearsal to get through a couple of crazy syncopated things. And it was good. It all worked out fine. And then I ended up subbing for Tim for a while, and he ended up splitting, and they offered me the full-time position. So I jumped in. This will be my third season, or I think with them, full season.
Sweet.
I think 2.5 seasons, whatever.
So I heard that they only play, I guess I'll say you only play like 3 or 4 shows a year. Is that right?
No, the iBerries are 1 to 2 shows a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My information's outdated.
Right. Yeah, they're 1 to 2 shows a month.
Okay.
Quite a few road gigs. We've got a lot of stuff coming up in Illinois this year, and just kind of all over different places. We can play Kansas City and St. Louis and
Nice.
and whatever besides the lake. And then I'm also the drummer for One More Shot, which is a local country band.
I was going to ask you about them.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great pickers. Jim Moffat's a 35-year Nashville guy, singer-songwriter, just amazing talent. We were just talking earlier about he's pretty much got a damn near a perfect country voice.
Yeah.
You know, just like we do mostly classic country stuff. And he's just
The real
got,
country?
like the real deal country
Yeah.
music, you know, the wailing and,
Yeah.
you know, all that good stuff, the good old classic stuff, real country.
I bet the crowds love that around here.
Yep, it's going over pretty good, you know. It's just Jim, and right now we're kind of looking for that fifth element, that real deal chicken picking, lead guitar picking guy. But you know, we've got a steel player. We've got a pedal steel player that's just phenomenal. He was the pedal steel player for Marty Haggard. He's been on the Grand Ole Opry a handful of times. His name's Lanny Engler. Just awesome. I've told quite a few people that, you know, kind of hate to say it again, but I'm going to. I think maybe the best musician I've ever played with in my life overall. You know, just because watching what he does is like all the strings, everything slides and everything bends. He's got pedals on the floor, his both knees bend stuff, and everything slides. It's not like a regular guitar. We've just got frets.
Right.
You know, everything moves on his entire instrument. And then on top of that, he puts effects. He's got pedals, you know, all different reverbs, delays, you know, choruses, and it works all that stuff. I've heard him play like Jimi Hendrix on pedal steel and stuff. You know, I'm like, what are you doing? You're wild, man.
That's impressive.
Right?
Dang.
Yeah.
You know you're a legit country band if you have a steel player.
I know. Yeah. If you don't have that or a fiddle, you shouldn't even be doing it.
Right.
I'm just saying.
You must be playing modern country if you don't have that.
Right.
Well,
Florida, Georgia line. Dan Hall's a bass player, and he's just a phenomenal picker. You know, he's played all over the Midwest for years, 8 clubs and stuff, a band called Diamondback. And yeah, he's a real good picker too. I don't know really why they keep me around, but it's good though. I have fun with them, you know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big country guy.
Right.
I don't dislike it, but I don't really like it. But I got my wife tickets to Josh Turner a few years ago when he was at the Shawnee Bluff.
Right.
And her plans fell through with her girlfriend, and I'm like, listen, I guess I'll go with you if you need somebody to go, because I don't want you to not go.
I don't want to hear a bunch of country crap.
Oh, man.
You know, whatever, boo.
So I did, and
Right.
we had to ride the shuttle bus from the parking lot to the winery, and everyone had their their denim and their flannel on and their boots and their cowboy hats, and I'm like, man, I don't belong here.
Right.
But it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And, being a guitar player, being able to watch the musicianship on display, in that genre, it was really cool. With the steel guitar and the fiddle and everything, it blew my mind. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's good to kind of get out of the comfort zone every now and then.
Right.
With Celtic music,
Right. See, and that's the cool thing. I'll touch back on the iBerries. They have pedal steel also. Bonnie LaFoon is also an incredible steel player. You know, just blows my mind all the time. And, you know, the iBerries are pedal steel. We got acoustic guitar. We've got Kyle Miller, who plays percussion and accordion and harmonica. And, you know, Tara Vincent, she's on the melodica sometimes, and she plays percussion, and half the band switches around through half of the show. And, you know, it's just crazy. I get to play with such great people. It's amazing.
And you got a new guitar player recently, right?
Yeah, we got him hired, and then 2 days later he quit.
Oh,
So before we even got going, he said,
that sucks.
but he put a nice apology out, and
Yeah.
you know, I won't go into any names or anything, but
Yeah, sure.
But he handled it really well. I think that he was into it, and I think he was wanting to do it. I know he had a lot of stuff going, and then he said he had some personal things going that were going to keep him from really being able to focus as much as he wanted to. And I mean, the time to do that is in the beginning, you know, before we do 2 or 3 rehearsals and we got a show coming up, and then drop out, you know.
You
It's
handled
like,
it the right way.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
so
good.
there's absolutely no hard feelings when I see him around. I'll still drink a shot with him or some tequila or something, and
Yeah.
it'll be all good.
Well, I can't remember the lady that I was talking with on Facebook, but I think I commented or something on the ad that they were looking for a guitar player, and I think she mentioned something to me like about doing it, and
Right.
I'm like I don't have the chops, like I don't play much anymore,
Right.
and she's like, well, you never know, you know, if you don't try and stuff, and I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna
Right.
waste anybody's
You're like,
time.
I kind of know right now. You know, give me 6 months, get brushed back up and everything. But
like I miss playing gigs, but I ain't gonna jump into the Iberries. Like,
right, and like I said, it's a tough show. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you got to be a rock guitar player, you got to be a rockabilly guitar player, you got to be a country picker, you got to be able to play some pop, you got to be able to either know or learn the Celtic stuff. It's not normal.
yeah,
The chord changes are different. The picking techniques are different. Like, there's a lot to it.
you know, Taz, you just sold the show right there. You sold the band. Like,
Right,
that's
I
a
know.
plug for the band.
I know. I kind of like them guys.
Man, I gotta make it out to see you guys sometime.
Yeah, we've got
That'd be
quite
so
a few.
cool.
We got quite a few shows around the lake this year. So
I hear it's just packed every time.
usually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We're usually good for. I mean, usually good for 200 to 300 people. Just about guaranteed anywhere we go. And then, I mean, we've played some shows that are, 1,000 more.
Whoa.
Yeah, some bigger shows, whatever. So, yeah, it's cool. Iberries are awesome.
What's going on at Tire Biters?
Right. Well, I DJ there every Tuesday. Been there every Tuesday for August would be 5 years.
Wow.
Right. So that's a pretty good run, you know.
Terrific Taz Tuesdays.
Terrific Taz Tuesday at Tire Biters. It's funny, when Tom used to own it, I used to say it was Terrific Taz Tuesday, tracking tunes for Tom till the end of time.
Whoa.
'Cause I like alliteration. Alliteration is my jam, you know. So yeah.
Have a few drinks and try saying that, huh?
Right. Oh, I could. And I have, and I just
Let's
did.
try it, right?
Right. Yeah, we should.
Nice. That's really good.
That is tasty. That is a cold, tasty beverage right there.
So how does one go from running a bar and playing drums and ending up in a huge band like the Iberries, and you're DJing on the side, and then you got another band all at the same time? Like, how does all that work for you?
Well, I just never sleep. But no, I just work all the time, man. I kind of came to the conclusion a while back that I'm not independently wealthy. So I have to work a lot. Because I work full-time, too.
Oh, really?
Besides DJing and 2 bands. And
What do you do?
I work at Performance Boat Center. I work on the offshore, the Go Fast boats.
Dang.
So I work in the paint shop there during the daytime, too. So I'm 40 hours hot rod guy, and then another 40 hours of music guy every week, pretty much, or more. And then some travel time in between there.
And you're really
Yeah.
successful at all of it. Like,
Well,
that's really amazing.
I don't know about that, because like I said, I'm not independently wealthy yet. So I'm going to keep doing it all for a while here until I am.
You're musically wealthy. There you go.
Musically, I am definitely blessed.
Your cup runneth over.
I am definitely blessed for the people that I get to play with and the people I get to play for. And Lake of the Ozarks is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. I always tell people I live here by choice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're not a visitor.
No. You know, I mean, I've got opportunities, and I get phone calls to go do stuff in other places. I'm like, kind of like where I'm at, really. Pretty cool here.
What do you think of the local music scene here? You know, I know you got a good view of it when you had Go Fast Betty's, and now you're more involved in the scene than ever. So what do you think of it all?
Right. Well, the biggest thing is, I mean, that's the reason I moved here was, you know, a lot of the great musicians around here and everybody's attitude, you know, the Wayne Smith and Chili and the older school guys, you know, that were here banging around when I came in that are still here playing and doing good. And, you know, the thing that I liked is I was in Branson 4.5 years before I came here.
Oh.
I did close to 1,500 Branson shows.
Wow.
Down there between the theater gigs and the club gigs around that area. You know, Branson is just so fake. You know, I've said many times, Branson, that a lot of the entertainers and stuff, they're as fake as the teeth on the billboards. You know what I mean? They're like, it's just crazy down there. It's backstabbing, cutthroat, you know, and ridiculous. And you come to the lake and everybody's like, hey man, you know, I got a gig this Saturday, but you know, if you want to do it, that'd be cool, you know, and we're having a jam, like we're all just getting together and playing music for fun. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're playing music for fun? That's crazy. You know, I feel kind of bad. I haven't been to many jams lately because I'm so ridiculous, crazy busy. It's like if I have a night off, I'm kind of hanging out for a night, you know. Like every once in a while I do like a night on the couch, believe it or not. But
yeah.
I don't get many.
You got to recharge the batteries, man.
Right?
Well, why do you say that about Branson? You know, like being in the scene at Branson and then hearing about the Lake of the Ozarks music scene, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I got an opportunity to come up here, and I had been there, like I said, for about 4 years. I was getting kind of jaded, and the economy was tanking, and all the shows were kind of dropping, you know, attendance, and Branson was going through kind of a hard time, and everybody was, you know, it's a tough gig, you know. I mean, a perfect example, a good friend of mine, Scott Lancaster, is a bass player in a show that I was in, and they ended up cutting him, getting another bass player, because the bass player moved to Branson, said he would take the Branson show for free so he could put it on his resume. You know, and then the producer of the show was like, well, I could be paying this dude, or this guy can play pretty good. He's not as good as that guy, but he's free. You know, and that's where like the cutthroat and all that stuff starts coming in, you know. It's like I had an opportunity to play with the Texas Tenors.
I think I've heard of them.
Right, yeah, they're America's Got Talent finalists, or maybe won it, I'm not sure.
Dang.
But yeah, I mean, they're great and they're phenomenal. I did like a test show with them when they were first putting their Branson show together that's touring the world now, playing with Philharmonic orchestras and whatever, you know, and I was the first one, and they basically offered me the show, and then the other drummer that was in the theater at the time said he would take the show for $50 a show, just so he could get the show, you know. And that stuff started happening. I was like, you know, I'm kind of done here. Like, I think I'm done in Branson, you know, because when you're playing 3 shows a day for $150, no.
So how do you think it's changed here since you've gotten here?
Oh, it's just more places. You know, there's always more stuff popping up. The big water bars are awesome, you know, with all the pools and everything. And just more and more people coming all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, the way the Lake of the Ozarks handled COVID and all that stuff, I thought was amazing. So, you know, there's people moving from all over the country now to get here. And
that's right.
Live here. It's a great place to live.
Did you have downtime during that?
I ended up with about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, which I had friends in Indianapolis that were down almost 2 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, the scene just didn't even open back up there. This is where I'm originally from, kind of. So,
okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, it took them 1.5 years to get back going, kind of. We're like, we were
yeah, we were just wide open the whole time.
Yeah, we're just wide open. You should come down to the lake, Bubba.
Yeah. Taz, let's talk history here. Your musical history.
No.
We all know you're a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you play anything else?
I've done a lot of producing stuff. I play like bad keyboards, kind of, because I produced a lot of hip hop stuff, some EDM stuff, like years and years ago. So I'm like a one finger kind of piano guy. I can kind of peck around a little bit, and you know, I sort of know like Home Sweet Home on the piano-ish.
Nice.
You know, like I can kind of halfway hack my way through that, but not very good. I know like the power chords on the guitar-ish. But a pretty good studio engineer guy.
Yeah.
Done quite a bit of that stuff. Been running Pro Tools since like '99 or something, like when it was kind of first coming out ish. So,
do you want to edit our conversation when we're done?
I do not actually. No, sir. I've kind of got plans after this.
All right.
Got another performance this evening.
Fair enough. Well, okay, so about the drums, how long have you been playing the drums? Has it been like a forever thing? Were you beating on everything as a kid?
Right. I mean, I got my first drum kit when I was 3.
Wow.
Right? But I didn't take it too serious at that point. It took a little while longer before. But no, I did get a drum kit set at 3, but then I traded that off for a bicycle or something. I don't even remember what the hell I did. But I started getting serious. I started playing sax at 8. My dad worked at a company that built saxophones, so he kind of got me started at sax. And then right about 13 is when I started playing drums. I traded an electric guitar because I knew that wasn't my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was doing okay, but I wasn't feeling it. And then I got a drum kit. I traded that for a drum kit, so I was back to the drums at 13, and then I got kind of serious about it and started gigging out at about 18. You know, I always played little high school bangings and whatever, little marching stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, I got going about 18, 19, and started getting gigs. And by 20, I was out in the clubs in Indianapolis playing, and ended up going pretty much full time for the next 25 years or whatever. You know.
What was your first band?
First, let's see, besides my high school stuff or whatever, my first real band was a metal band called Released Aggression.
I like it.
Yeah, we're kind of like the old school coroner, like metal church type stuff, like super heavy, super fast. And I ended up doing metal for years and years, toured. Another band called Something Wicked was not too long after them, and then that turned into Simon Bar Sinister. And Simon Bar Sinister did a couple records. We flew out to LA and did some stuff, recorded at Paramount Recordings, and did 32 cities in 6 weeks with Merciful Fate. And
no way.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That turned into another band called Brainduster, and in between them all, it was open for Kiss and Ted Nugent and all just, I mean, a million different bands, Slaughter and all kind of stuff, and just toured all around the Midwest, all around the United States or whatever, and did that for a while and mixed in between there and other stuff. Over the next few years, I've done about 80 records in the studio and toured China a couple times and the Caribbean and whatever. I don't know. I've done all kind of crap. It's crazy.
I didn't think that I could be more impressed than I already was by Mr. Taz.
Oh, see. Shucks.
No, for real though. You know, like I used to listen to a lot of talk radio. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
KRMS.
Right, I did
Gotta
some of that.
shout him out.
I did some of that
I
for
hear
me.
your commercials and
Right. I had a talk show on there. I had a racing talk show on KRMS for a little while called Speedline Radio.
You got a great voice, man.
Right?
Seriously.
Thank you.
And
Somebody else tells me that all the time.
yeah. Get the drummer a microphone. They all need one, just in case.
I hear that all the time too. But then usually they're like, "Taz, we need to get you a mic back there," and then I'll end up saying something. And they're like, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't mic you during
Shut
the show."
up, Taz.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't mic you during the show.
That's great. Well, speaking of radio, a couple months ago I interviewed Bob Ice.
Yeah, Bob Ice, my homie.
Yeah,
That dude's crazy.
You guys, you're pretty tight.
Pretty good, man. He's my buddy, man. I've known him pretty much since I moved to the lake or whatever. And I think I'm one of the few people that he kind of likes.
Well, we had a good time. We had a good conversation. He wanted me to ask you a question.
Uh-oh. This is a Bob Ice question. It could be loaded.
I messaged him the other day. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Taz because I knew you guys knew each other.
Right?
I said, what? So any good questions I need to ask him?
Uh-huh. Here it comes.
He says he wanted me to ask, do you like wearing a dress with the eyeberries?
Oh, see, I knew he was going to ask that one. It's not a dress, Bob Ice. It's a kilt.
Real men wear kilts.
I know, they do.
That doesn't surprise you that that's
Right.
what that was.
And
huh?
I always get asked the question. They're like, Taz, what do you wear under your kilt? You know, and I'm like, all I ever say is I'm just like ringing the bell. It's just like ringing the bell, you know. But now, a lot of times what I do, though, is I wear, like, camouflage ruse under there.
Yeah.
Some camouflage underwear, because then you can't see them. You see what I'm saying?
No, I didn't ask that question, Taz.
Right. Well, I know. Before this is over with and the tequila kicks in a little more, you won't have to ask any more questions.
Oh, no.
We'll
Get
just be
outta
telling
here.
stories.
Wow. Oh, man. How do you segue into something else after that? You've played so many shows. You've toured so many places. Let's narrow it down to this area.
Okay.
What do the crowds like? What songs do they like? What artists do they like? Because there's artists that listen to this, so maybe they need to take some notes.
Right. But the thing is, they won't listen to me.
Yeah. Then they're going to fail.
No, they'll be fine. They're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
But it is kind of crazy because, like, you know, the bands that I'm in, the other bands that I've been in, you know, I DJ all the time, so I get requests constantly, you know, and there's different stuff, and there's songs that you know for a fact work or whatever. But it seems like they don't want to ask me very often what I want to play. But I also like a lot of crazy stuff too, you know. But yeah, it's very interesting. You'd think that they'd be like, so what's like the number one requested song like today, you know?
It's what they hear on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
Little goofy little TikTok videos and stuff. Like Baby Shark, you know, I get like probably have to put that in the band. They're like, no, Taz, we're not playing Baby Shark.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Seriously,
Like,
it's
people
all
love that song.
Yeah, it's the viral stuff. What do the people in this area want to hear? Like, are they more country? Do they like rock? Is there like some niche stuff like metalheads around here?
You're gonna think I'm crazy when I tell you, right?
Yeah.
Works every time. Lake of the Ozarks, 90s dance music.
Yeah?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
90s dance music. Goes over like crazy.
Huh. Must be the old millennials around
Man,
here.
you throw out some Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, some Humpty Dance.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yep. They go crazy, man. Every time.
Interesting.
I know, right? Like, you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't expect it.
So in the iBerries and One More Shot, you do covers
there's
and
none
originals?
Of that. There's no Baby Shark or
No Spice
Marky
Girls.
Mark in either one. No.
Like, what do they want to hear, like, for One More Shot? Like, what's a song that you play that the people just go nuts for? Like,
Right.
not DJ, like you play, actually.
Yeah. One More Shot, the one we do every time, we've got kind of our own little take on it, is The House of Rising Sun.
Ah.
Like, we got a badass version of that, and, like, it always goes over good, goes over like crazy, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I know
That's
that
one of the ones that we rock out on a little bit, and they're, you know.
What about the iBerries? What's the song? I'm sure there's more than one, but what's the cover song that everyone just goes nuts for?
Right. There's a bunch of them. I'm probably going to say with them, there's a couple actually. I Want to Dance with Somebody,
Really?
which is a Whitney Houston song, but we bring it up a little, make it a little more dancey than her version, and Kyle Miller sings it. So we have a dude singing Whitney Houston and kind of a different version or whatever, and everybody seems really like that one. It goes over really good every time. We do Waterfalls from TLC.
90s dance.
Seems to go over every time. See, that one makes perfect sense.
So what do the
Man.
venues look for, like, genre-wise? Like, is there something that everyone's
a little
looking
bit
for?
of everything at the lake, man.
Yeah.
There's kind of no rules,
No rules.
you know.
I like it.
Other than I kind of feel for my buddy. I know you had Tyler on a little while back. Tyler Kenny.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of feel for them guys in the lake area because they're like doing stuff on a national level, and they're like a badass band. You know, like Etched in Embers is killing it, and like there's no place for them to play at the lake. Like, you know, original heavy stuff. There's no venue here other than hopefully like. You know, if it was up to me, they should be opening for like Breaking Benjamin or something when they come. Mm-hmm. You know, that would be cool. I would love to see them on that bill if anybody's listening. But
It's
yeah.
quite possible. I mean, you know, I would imagine when someone's bringing a show like that to an area, they kind of search for that one band who kind of like rules the area.
Yeah, a lot of times they do.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a ton of gigs like that opening for nationals, you know, back in the day. You don't do as much of it anymore. But the One More Shots are kind of working on some stuff where we, pardon me, might end up doing some stuff like that here for too long. So
Cool.
we got quite a few originals.
See, and that's kind of a never-ending debate for this area, because there was a saying, like, if you want to get paid, play covers. If you don't want to get paid, play originals.
Right.
Any truth to that?
I mean, it is until you make a hit song,
Yeah.
and then you get paid like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to find that medium in between there. And like the Etch and Embers boys, they're just like, hey, we're just going to do what we got to do until we make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're making it. And it's awesome. They just got over 1 million plays on Spotify.
I saw that.
It's killer, you know. Go you, fellas.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I mean, you know, the One More Shot guys, we've got pretty much enough originals for our record now. You know, we throw a few out every night, but we have to play covers too because, you know, we kind of like to get paid. So that's good.
How would you go about making a record and putting one out these days?
You know, there's different ways to go at that now. I have kind of a crazy opinion on it that you almost don't even have to make a record anymore. I think you can kind of record a handful of songs, get them out there and promote them, you know, make a couple good videos. And you can kind of get established and get yourself going that way as much as, you know, obviously nobody uses CDs even anymore.
Right.
I mean, I know one person that does still. But, you know, other than her, most people just Bluetooth off their phones now. So you've got to get your stuff on Spotify. You've got to get it out in the media in order to really do anything anymore. It's not about even really making a record, kind of.
As long as you have something to put in a electronic press kit, you'd be good.
Nobody pays attention to any of that
Really?
crap. No. No.
What then?
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yep. Like if you're booking around Lake of the Ozarks or whatever, you just got to go get a hold of somebody and they're going to give you 10 seconds to look at a video, and that's that, you know. I don't know not one bar manager anymore that like opens promo packs and listens to a CD or any of that. Yeah.
That's good info, Taz.
Right? I know.
That's very valuable, for real. There's probably a lot of people who are doing it the old-fashioned way.
Don't waste your money.
Wow.
Just go there.
Dang.
Just be like, hey, who's doing the booking here? You know?
Be better at getting gigs than I was.
See? There you go. That was a good throwback right there.
One of my favorite things to talk about on here. Best and worst gigs. And then I got something else after that.
Maybe the coolest gig, one of the coolest gigs I did. And I didn't really touch on this too much. We've been talking mostly local stuff or whatever, but the 2 times that I toured China was with a guy named Bertie Higgins. He had the song Key Largo back in the 80s, kind of a one-hit guy, kind of a Time Life 80s guy now. He had the song Key Largo back in the 80s. It was just multi-platinum. He's like 21 or 23 gold and platinum albums worldwide, like #1 karaoke song in all of Asia for years and years. Like he's like an amazing talent. But I've toured China with him twice, and I think probably like the Shanghai Performance Theater was just a super crazy cool place to play. Like the entire place is a big in the round giant theater, and there was no acoustic thing in there that was soft. So they tuned the whole room with like wood panels and glass panels in the ceiling and on the walls and created angles and made it acoustically perfect with nothing soft in there. There's no curtains. There's no, you know, like the wood, the floor is all hardwood. The seats are hard. Everything is hard, but yet it's tuned perfectly acoustic. That was cool.
So like you hit the drum and you just felt it in your soul.
It was just a perfect sound. You know,
Wow.
like just that tiny little bit of reverb like you would get in a nice room, but it wasn't, you know.
And it was built exactly for that purpose.
It was what it was made for, you know.
That's cool.
And there was people behind me too, which is always kind of fun. You know, it's like the little Chinese people go crazy for beads. Bertie always throws out party beads.
Oh, yeah?
And I knew I was going to have people behind me at that show. So it's like, we come out in the beginning, the intro's rolling, and here comes the band from both sides of the stage, and we're throwing party beads, and everybody's going crazy. But especially in China, they really go crazy because they want keepsakes from him, He's like a giant celebrity over there. So, yeah, we come out, and we're throwing beads and going crazy. Well, I kept 10 or 12 strands of beads, and when I went and sat down behind my drums, I kind of hung them on a drumstick back where you could see them from the back. So then every once in a while I was playing, I'd kind of turn around and there'd be 5 or 6 people pointing like, hey, we want those ones. You still got bead? We want bead. Okay, good time for you. Okay, thank you. So then every once in a while I'd grab one and just wing it behind my shoulders. And I hear them scuffling around me. I'm like,
give me the bead. We're fighting.
I was messing with them. They was like ninjas. They was flying around, kicking each other and stuff. There's beads flying everywhere. It was awesome.
Do you still have any
beads?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got some keepsakes for yourself for that?
I do. Yeah. I've got all kinds of crazy little stuff I've got from all over the world.
All right. Well, how about a worst gig? Now, you don't have to, be specific, but just just one that you'd really want to forget.
Man, I'm just gonna say every empty venue I've ever played, I would just really like to forget.
Yeah.
Because it's awful. Okay, I got one. Yeah. So, it was either Gillette or Cheyenne, Wyoming. This was about 2005. I was playing with a dude named Todd Fulcher, who played the Grammy Awards with Ricky Martin or whatever. Badass smoking guitar player, super nice guy. And we did like 250 dates on the road that year. And that was the year before I moved to Branson. And we're in like this giant bar out in, like I said, Gillette or Cheyenne, Wyoming or something. Like, I think like from where the stage was to the end of the dance floor, because it was like the big wooden dance floor where everybody country line dances around in circles. I think the bar at the end of the dance floor was actually in the next county. Like, I'm pretty sure like there was another zip code or something. The bar was way the hell over there. And we played there like Tuesday to Saturday, so like Tuesday night we got there and we got all set up and we started playing, and there's like 6 cowboys sitting at that bar like half a mile away down there, and we're like, yeah, this is great. We got done with the first set and like that was it. They were the only one there, like 6 dudes in this giant gymnasium of a nightclub, and they're way the hell over there. So we got done playing. I was like, man, I'm gonna go grab a beer. So I hiked for like 45 minutes or whatever it was. She get over to the bar over there, and I pulled up to the bar, and this old cowboy dude, at the end, I was like, hey, what's up, bud? Yep. I said, band sound all right? We doing all right over there? He goes, there's a band?
Oh.
It's like, yeah, we was playing and stuff. He goes, oh. Went back to drinking his beer, and that was the entire conversation I had with that guy. I was like, he had no idea that we were even playing over in the back 40 over there on the other side of the bar. And I'm just like, man.
That's rough.
Yeah. Which that place by Saturday was slam packed full of people, and like it was fun, but Tuesday night is like, or it might have been a Monday night, whatever we started on it. All I know is that might have been one of the worst.
That hurts.
I know, it was tough. There's a band. What? Yeah.
You think maybe you weren't loud enough or something? Maybe you didn't reach that far?
He just did not care.
Wow.
That was it. He was drinking his beer.
That sucks.
Thinking about cows.
I got a segment called Musical Mishaps.
Musical mishaps. I had a gang of those.
Bob told me a story about when you all were jamming at the bar, and his guitar strap broke.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And his guitar went crashing to the ground.
I know.
And he was like, I'm the greatest guitar player in the world.
Well, he said that right before his guitar fell off. It was, yeah.
That was one of his musical mishap stories. So,
right?
You bust a drum head, you fall off the stage, what do you got?
Right. I'm usually so silky smooth and professional, and I really don't have anything, man.
Come on.
Really don't make any mistakes or screw anything up, kind of.
I can hear the eyes rolling.
I can
in the
hear
groans.
crickets, right?
There's got to be something.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have any big drop the ball things. I mean, I've maybe gotten a little too intoxicated, made some mistakes a couple times over the years and
Surely
whatever.
not.
Yeah, I was playing with Stonewall and James Clay, a buddy of mine's birthday party, and I played with, let's see, there was 5 bands that day, and I played in 4 of the bands.
Ooh.
Okay, so it was an all-day thing. And then, like, you know, my buddy was making sure that I was well taken care of because he was excited because I was coming to play his, 50th birthday party and everything was good. And he made sure there was an overabundance of Jägermeister. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, not Jaeger.
I have been fueled on Jägermeister since I was a little guy. And I think that's why I still look so young and everything, is the 56 Healing Botanicals in the Jaeger. You know, it keeps me going, man. It keeps me strong. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an herbal liqueur. I could sound like a Jaeger commercial right now if I wanted to. I know all about it.
You're going to get me a sponsorship,
healthy.
Man.
It's healthy. It's good for you. Jaeger is good for you. But not when you drink Jaeger and Sinfire cinnamon whiskey, and then my buddy, about the 3rd band in, breaks out the jar of moonshine. It was some real deal Ozark Mountain backwoods country woods moonshine. And then the last band that I played with Gasoline Cult was James Clay and Stonewall. I don't know if you know them guys.
Oh yeah,
right. Well, that stuff is just screaming crazy fast. And by the time I got up there with them dudes, I was D-runk. I was duh-runk. Duh-drunk. So, yeah, I ended up tapping out halfway through the show, man. I felt bad about it. I was just like, dude, I can't even do that. I can't play. Like, I'm not that fast right now. Like, my brain does not go fast enough to do this show.
Right.
And they're like, that's cool, man. We're still getting paid anyway, so we're good. And we ended up getting drunk and then more drunker afterwards, I think. And we were throwing moonshine in the fire. And, yeah, it turned into a whole thing, but... Yeah,
I gotta quit playing these drums. They're stopping me from drinking.
I know. That was what it ended up turning into, Everybody got taken care of, and it was fine, and nobody lost a limb or anything, so
that's good.
It was good, Yeah, I felt kind of bad on that, because usually I try to be pretty professional. I try not to screw stuff up, I always pretty much have a backup snare with me. If I break a snare head, I'm just like, chink, chink, I got another one, things like that, always got duct tape with me. It's very important.
I think people have an awareness of like, all right, this guy is totally capable of getting like fall down, hammered drunk,
right,
to where he can't perform anymore. So will tonight be the night?
Right.
I think everyone's always aware of those people.
See, I am that guy actually, but usually I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tolerance.
I don't fall down until after the gig.
You get up off the stool and you're like, whoa! It hits you.
Right.
Oh.
Right. No, I like to be silly. I like to have a little fun, but I pretty much stay pretty pro. I'm pretty prepared for whatever might come along, usually in a gig.
The thing is, you really don't have to be. Like, what does Taz have left to prove?
What do I have left to prove?
Yeah,
Man, I don't know that I've ever had anything to prove.
Somebody gonna be like,
it's never been my MO. I was just telling a buddy of mine today. I'm like, I've never been like super competitive, about the music business or whatever. I'm like, I just if I'm there and people are entertained, I did my job, and fun. And they're like, I want to have some fun too. It's not the worst job in the world playing music, whether I'm DJing or playing drums, but I want the crowd to have fun. So yeah, points to prove, not really what I'm in it for, just like to help everybody have a good time.
That's awesome. What are you the most proud of throughout your musical career?
Probably my longevity. I've played music longer than most people I know. A lot of people seem to drop out and get into whatever, and it's cool, and I'm still playing music and having fun and enjoying my life, even if I am working on boats and stuff in the daytime, which I enjoy that too. But, I can't imagine not playing music at all. Like, I've had lots and lots of friends over the years that are like, I'm just kind of not feeling it no more, man. I think I'm going to hang it up. I'm like, how do you just hang up playing music if it's in you like that,
Good call.
Yeah.
I think you answered another one of my questions.
See, now we're good. Now we're getting telepathetic.
Pathetic.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is my word. You can use that if you want, though, man.
Telepathetic.
You have to give me a quarter every time you use it. 'Cause I'm gonna need some royalties.
You want to play quarters? Is that what you said?
We can do that too. We got some more little bottles of tequila.
It's been a minute since I played some quarters.
Right? Yes,
Well,
sir.
Taz, I think that's all I got for you, man.
Sweet, man.
I really appreciate your time. I know you're a
Sweet.
super busy dude.
I think I'm gonna go down to Whittles and have a drink.
There you go. Hey, I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, bub. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Take care.